Hi there. Once again, I'm so happy to be here. Once again, it's Vin Rogers Jr. I forget my own name, but you know, when the years go on, you get a little funny up here. Anyway, Vin Rogers Jr., and as I've pointed out before, the Jr., just forget about that. My dad died many, many years ago, and traitor during the First War. We don't like to talk about it even, but anyway, so it's Vin Rogers. But also associate with that the word skeptic. So if you want to get me again, you can look under skeptic, or you can look under Vin Rogers. Get the point? Try. Now, I'd like to tell you, I had this experience, you know, for maybe almost 10 years. I did community access television. It was a program called Religiously Incorrect. And I had a department which was known as They Never Quit. The windbags, the ministers, they get into trouble on stealing money or sexual escapades, whatever. Pretty soon, no matter the trouble, utterly discredited, back they come in some new guise. Today, I want to take up a subject almost forgotten now and never got the publicity it deserved, but it was the most fantastic thing you can imagine. This guy was one of the most prolific pornographers of boy pornography that you can possibly imagine. Plus, he was a Catholic priest. Plus, he had a PhD from Stanford University from the history department. And plus. This guy had everything. Wait till you hear the story. His name was Father Dino Cinel. He was an immigrant from our shores after the Second War. Got himself a BA from, I think, New York University. Came out to Stanford, got a PhD. And on the strength of it, because of his history, he'd got a job at Tulane University as an associate professor. Well, he's right in the middle of a heavy Catholic area. You can appreciate that. As a professor, he's still, even so as a father, he is obliged to say Mass, you know, to contribute to the, because there's a shortage of priests, you know how that is. And so he does his duty there at St. Rita's, which is a high-class church, and one of the members is the district attorney of New Orleans, Harry Connick Sr. And I hear many of you saying, oh, I've heard that name before. You have indeed. His son is Harry Connick Jr., who's a band leader and vocalist. Well, anyway, the district attorney is, of course, his father, Harry Connick Sr. And he knows this Father Cinel, he knows him quite well. This Father Cinel is a very charming, sophisticated, and needless to say, highly educated. But he has this kind of a second life. Even though he's living in a house with 3 or 4 other priests, he's got this steady stream of boys that are going up there, staying overnight and carousing and everything else. You'd think the other fathers would have objected to it, but apparently they see no evil, and so they paid no attention. What was going on? He was filming them having sex, and he had the camera on automatic mode so that he could be in the picture with them. Now, it was finally discovered what was going on by the strangest accident. He decided to go back to Italy for a vacation, and his girlfriend, mind you, the guy was trisexual. Not homosexual, not bisexual, trisexual, would try damn near anything sexual. So he's getting it off with the boys, he's getting it off with this dish. He later married her. That's all very strange. Well, he goes to Italy, and she has taken him to the airport, and accidentally she locks the keys in the trunk. He's off to Italy, and so she phones the priest's house and says, can you get an extra set of keys? It's in Father's room. So priest goes in there and opens up these drawers. They're cram full of not only his pornography that he's taken, but everybody else's. It's a treasure trove. Not only has he taken these 160 hours, count them, 160 hours of sex tapes of boys and himself. He has he's copied it, he shipped it to Denmark on the international market for porn. What is the father going to do? He tells the bishop, What's the bishop going to do? The law requires them, because Louisiana has tough laws on porn. Why? Because Harry Connick Sr. saw to it that they did. Now, they're supposed to, under those circumstances, report it instantly to the DA. Do they do it? No. They decide that their duty is to go through the tapes to make absolutely sure that none of the boys in there are members of the Louisiana parish. So presumably they go through 160 hours of this tape. Well, now, you know, if you look at it this way, 4 hours and take 4 hours, watch it for 4 hours, divide in there, what will that be? That'd take 40 days. Is that right? 40 days? Something like that, just to go through this material, to find out. Now, of course, they're in a position now of obstruction of justice, because not alone haven't they reported it, but how can we tell that they didn't erase something? Maybe they did see people who were in the parish and burked it. Finally, they get around to telling the DA. Harry Connick Sr. doesn't want to hear this. It's a hot potato. Nobody wants this evidence. They want it to go away somehow. And here's the thing, it'll just blow your mind, my friends. It'll blow your mind. Father Dino Cinel goes into court and sues the church and sues the DA. He wants his tape back. They're my property. Takes a lot of chutzpah to come along like that, but that's exactly what he did. So it's a three-corner race, while in the meantime, the feds want the tape because of the implications of international pornography. Now you say to yourself, wait a minute here, what's happened? Presumably, when Father Cinel got off that plane returning from Italy, he should have been arrested on the tarmac. And he wasn't. And it gives you an idea, this is 1988, and it gives you an idea of the enormous power of the Catholic Church. When people asked the DA, the reporters, they say, Harry, when are you going to arrest this guy? When are you going to bring a charge against him? And Harry Connick Sr. says, never, not while I'm the DA. And they said, well, Harry, why would you do that? Well, it would be an embarrassment to Mother Church. That gives you some of the idea of the power of these people and this bishop. Undoubtedly, in my opinion, I think that the bishop, the moment he heard about this, he got a hold of Harry Connick. This was probably all cooked up. Everybody pretending, you know, not to know anything about it. They knew everything. So now I shall walk off camera for a second for the purpose of just changing the scene for you. I want you to hold that thought. We are in New Orleans, and we're going to take a quick trip to New York City. There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. La-da-dee, la-da-da. And we are in New York. New York. Here we have City University of New York. Has branches all over the place. One of the ones is on Staten Island. Now, New York, as you know, is a polyglot population of Italians and Jews and a broad range of people who settled there, you know, through the years. But the Italians have always felt that they haven't been properly represented, and to the extent that they've been represented, it's mostly having to do with the mafia and stuff like that. They don't appreciate that worth a damn. So they feel that they should be a course, a department, given over to a good education system where they will teach the contributions of Italian immigrants to the civilization of the United States and New York in particular. So all of a sudden they have the money for it, the money's voted, they have a department, they have everything except a professor. So they put out the word, and suddenly they get a response. They get a response, and somebody comes along and says, listen, here are my academic qualifications. I wrote a PhD thesis entitled From Italy to San Francisco. It was published by the Stanford University Press, is available. I won a prize, the most prestigious prize of the American Historical Association, the Merle Curti Award for Excellence in Historical Work. I won that. I apply for this job. They read this thing in the discovery committee. Oh my God, this guy is absolutely perfect. Get him here. Let's give him tenure. So well, wait, we don't want to give him tenure. We haven't even met him. Screw that. Give him tenure. Well, what are we going to do to pay him? Make $50,000? No, $90,000 a year. 1989 or so. That's good money. Oh boy, is that good money. So the next thing that happens is there arrives in town a defrocked priest by the name of Dino Cinel. And he assumes his position when it is discovered of his escapades in New Orleans. Oh my God. Oh my God. The embarrassment. Let's fire him. Can't. He's got tenure. Well, yeah, but all this stuff and everything, he was never charged. He hasn't committed any, not convicted of anything. We can't fire him on that basis. Let's fire him anyway. So they decide to do that when the American Federation of Teachers, who are charged with, defending teachers and tenure, they are in a position where they have to actually defend this guy and his tenure. Well, there is finally a relief, I'm happy to say, and it turned out it was this. In their desperation to get rid of this guy, somebody said, let's read this book, let's read the thesis. They did. The thing is a farrago. It was a mess. It didn't, references that led nowhere. It was just a fiction. The whole thing was a fraud. Added to that was that the application that he sent was apparently also loaded with falsehoods. On that basis, they finally were able to get rid of Father Dino Cinel, rather. Of course, you can imagine the embarrassment to Stanford University and to Stanford University Press. This guy gets the premier prize for this mess. The American Historical Association got egg all over its face. One of the most extraordinary things that you could possibly imagine. But I wonder whatever happened to the guy. This much I'll tell you. This guy committed crimes that would have got you into jail probably for the rest of your natural life. He was never charged. That's how strong the church is. But in any case, in the case of Father Cinel, they never quit. So I suppose wherever he is, he's probably doing something successfully because he will never quit. That's it. Be sure to get a hold of me as always, because it's going to be forever here, folks. I'll keep coming back no matter how many people watch or don't. Vin Rogers Jr. Yes. Don't worry about the junior. Vin Rogers, I'll bring it up. Skeptic, Vin Rogers. Vin Rogers, skeptic. Whatever. See me next time.